Hello, this is Vox Africa News from our London studios. I'm Pamela Bongkiyung. In Mali's Gao, as administration returns to normal, the forces in Bamako, the country's capital, said yesterday that they had broken up a suspected cell of the militant group Mochwa. Two senior security sources said 8 people were arrested for plotting an attack on the capital city. The group was made up of only Malian nationals who had been living in Bamako's Banankabugu district. Malian officials said this arrest is a sign that the campaign against Islamists in the north have been activating those in the south. A visit by South African President Jacob Zuma to ailing anti-apartheid icon Nelson Mandela has been widely criticized. According to insiders, Zuma visiting Mandela with the media in tow was meant to dispel rumors that the anti-apartheid activist was bedbound and worse off than was being told. However, Mandela could be seen squinting against flashes from the journalist cameras and looking on without expression or his signature smile. This has brought up many questions as to why the media has been let in now, when for the past 6 months Zuma's government has been denying access, saying Mandela's privacy needed to be respected. Though Zuma was upbeat about Mandela's health, his visit seems to have raised more questions than answers.
Well, we are here today visiting Tatu Matiba with the officials, 3 of us, myself, the Deputy President and the National Chairperson. We took a decision to visit him today, to come and see him, and we are happy that we did come. And firstly, the doctors gave us a report, and of course we saw him. He's looking very good, he's in good shape. We had some conversation with him, shook hands, he was smiled. As you can see him, that he's really up and about and stabilized. We're very happy. We think that he's fine.
In yet another case involving pirates, 5 crew members were kidnapped from a cargo ship off Nigeria, according to the vessel's management company. This happened some 100 miles off Nigeria's coast. The attack on the Antigua and Barbuda-flagged MV City of Xiamen container ship took place on Friday, the 25th of this month, and there was a Russian and a Polish citizen among those taken. The International Maritime Bureau said 14 pirates who were armed took the crew and what cash they found. China's aid to Africa, often shrouded in secrecy, has come under the microscope. A study by the Washington-based Center for Global Development and Aid Data started the study to work around Beijing's secrecy relating to numbers when it comes to aid in Africa and China's intentions towards the continent. The research looked into 1,673 Chinese projects financed in Africa worth $75 billion in 50 African countries from 2000 to 2011. While official development assistance from Western countries has been open and easy to track, China's has not been. An Israeli settler in the West Bank has been killed by a Palestinian, a first such incident since 2011. The Palestinian man stabbed the Israeli man in his 20s before using the victim's gun to shoot him down. The attacker was shot and wounded by security forces, according to Israeli police. The Palestinian came from the northern West Bank town of Tuklam and is being treated in a hospital in Israel. Earlier this month, Palestinians had an affront with Israeli forces when they protested the continued detention of a group of Palestinians who went on hunger strikes in Israeli prisons. On Monday, France announced that it is looking to cut 34,000 military jobs by 2019. French military budget has been steadily declining since 1960 from 5.44% to today's 1.5%. Although the military budget for the next 6 years will remain the same, the government decided to hold back on the cuts when it was proposed. Putting the cuts into effect immediately will affect military operations such as French intervention in Mali. In other news, a French soldier was killed in northern Mali on Monday, the President's office reported, without further details. French defense minister said the cuts were to be expected and called them realistic.
It is an important step, which is set the tendency for the next 12 years. It is a reality step. It is a step which combines the necessity for our country to assume its economy recovery. We know that the country in debt is not efficient. It's combined this necessity. The budget presents and the necessity to have an army, some force able to ensure the protection of the French people, also able to ensure the international responsibility of the French in Europe and elsewhere.
In the Netherlands, ahead of today's abdication ceremony, Queen Beatrix gave a farewell speech in which she thanked the nation for placing their trust in her, trust she calls indispensable. It will be the first time in 120 years that the House of Orange will be run by a man. Before Queen Beatrix, her mother Juliana was queen, and before her was her grandmother, Queen Wilhelmina. Her son Willem Alexander, who has already been active in public life and created a niche for himself in the water management sector, will now become king. Meanwhile, in Argentina, the home country of Maxima, the wife of Prince Willem Alexander, a tango concert was held in her honor as she will soon be queen in the Netherlands. The concert was aptly titled A Tango for Maxima and was organized by Buenos Aires' Culture Ministry together with Argentina's Dutch Embassy. The South American country has been gripped with Dutch royal fever as Maxima will be Holland's first Argentine queen. It seems to have been a rather good year for Argentina, having a pope, an impressive footballer in Lionel Messi, and now a queen. On Monday, John Kerry, the U.S. Secretary of State, met with Arab League officials to discuss reopening Israeli-Palestinian peace talks. The two-state solution was promoted for the peace process, which broke down almost 3 years ago.
On behalf of the President, I reaffirmed, as did the Vice President, the U.S. commitment to pursue an end to the conflict based on the vision that President Obama outlined in May of 2011, two states living side by side in peace and security, brought about through direct negotiations between the parties. The U.S. and Arab League delegation here this afternoon agreed that peace between Israelis and Palestinians would advance security, prosperity, and stability in the Middle East. And that is a common interest for the region and the whole world. The U.S. and Arab League delegations this afternoon also agreed about the importance of this particular dialogue. And so we agreed to continue consultations on a regular basis and to meet as a group as needed in order to try to advance the efforts towards peace and an end to the conflict.
The Arab League delegation affirmed that agreement should be based on the two-state solution on the basis of the 4th of June 1967 line, with the possible of comparable and mutual agreed minor swap of the land. Thank you very much,
Thank you very
John.
much.
Thank you.
The ever-expanding waistlines of Buddhist monks in Thailand have led Thai nutritionists to launch a health campaign. Research found that nearly half are overweight and at risk of obesity. Research by Chulalongkorn University in Bangkok surveyed 246 Buddhist monks and found that 44% were overweight and 21% had a larger than average waistlines. The researchers say the waist of the average Thai man is about 90 centimeters, but some of the monks are weighing in at up to 108 kilograms with waistlines up to 123 centimeters. Jason Collins is the first NBA player to come out as gay. Collins graced this month's cover of Sports Illustrated and talked about his struggle with his sexuality. The Stanford-educated basketball center player has received wide support from his peers. Kobe Bryant was one of the first players to comment on how proud he was with Collins' decision. His classmate Chelsea Clinton, the daughter of former President Bill Clinton, said his decision was momentous. Collins began this season playing for the Celtics, but he remains a center for the Washington Wizards. Many people in the sports world, including the White House, have all applauded Collins' bravery in coming out despite his profession.
Here at the White House, we view that as another example of the progress that has been made and the evolution that has been taking place in this country, and commend him for his courage and support him in his in this effort, and hope that his fans and his team support him going forward.
We live in a country that allows you to be, whoever you want to be. As a Christian man, I serve a God that gives you free will to be who you want to be. As a Christian man, I have beliefs of what's right, what's wrong. That being said, I know Jason Collins, I know his family, and certainly praying for them at this time.
I just think that's where we are. We're lacking behind where our society is on this issue, and I think that to some degree we caught up a little bit today.
The civil trial against Michael Jackson's promoters AEG began yesterday. A warning was issued from the lawyer defending the concert promotion company that details of Michael Jackson's life that the public was unaware of would surface. The suit, which was brought on by Michael's mother, Catherine, accuses AEG for negligence in hiring Dr. Conrad Murray as her son's personal physician. Murray was convicted 2 years ago for Michael Jackson's propofol overdose. AEG says it did not supervise or had anything to do with the hiring of Dr. Murray. The case continues. Well, that's all for now. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to Vox Africa, and we shall see you in a moment.